I'm not ready for that, and I'm good
But I'm trying
right
to
now.
understand if I just asked you if you feel like you're going to be more desirable to men as you get older, and you said no,
Mm,
which is the correct answer. Why would you not be trying to date now?
no, dating now is not what I want to do. If I and you missed earlier when I told you dying alone isn't a problem for me. If I don't find a man, it's no skin
How do
off
you
my
know it?
teeth.
How do you know it's not a problem for you?
It's not a problem for me.
How do you know that? How do you definitively know that?
I definitively know that having a piece of man is better than no man. That old philosophy does not work for me. And I will not just accept any man just so I won't have to die alone. And to continuously have to go through relationship after relationship after relationship and those 90-day trials in order to find one isn't what I want to do. Again, I'm focusing on myself healing, building my business, taking care. I have a daughter in college. I'm helping her with college. I have a young son. Bringing another man into his space and everything right now would does not work for me. I'm good with being by myself. It's peaceful here. I don't have to share my bed or anything else. I am good.
Ma'am, I talk to women your age on a regular basis. I'm friendly with women that are your age and that are in the same position as you. And it's very easy for you to say what you're saying when, people are still in the house, when you still have company. Um, as you know, as your son gets older, and he starts dealing with girls, he starts getting involved in extracurricular activities. He's not going to want to be around you as much. He's not going to be at home as much, especially when he goes to college. Your daughter just in college now. There's gonna be a time where your daughter is also not going to be around and trying to be around you just as much. There's going to be a time where they leave the nest and start their own lives. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be in communication with you or love you or see you anymore, but it's easy to say, I don't want this or I don't need this when if you were childless, if you didn't have anybody around, I don't think your tone would be the same. And that's what I think a lot of like
No, I
women.
have I have one of
One
those
second, one
rich
second, one
aunties.
second, one second. That's what I think a lot of women in your position don't think about. I don't really think you think about down the line. I don't think you think about, like, when the children do leave the nest, when you do retire, like I don't think you think about those times. Like, but that's just me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have one of those rich aunties. She has no children. She is 62 and she travels. She's happy. She's making six figures and she has no interest in men. She does what she does. And like you say, I might change my mind then and it'll be too late, but I don't care. The idea of accepting a piece of man is better than no man that I
Why
shouldn't
does it
date
have to be
right
a
now.
piece of man? Why are you describing men as a piece?
No, no, no. I didn't mean it that way. Some
Does it? You
some
wait. You said it three
some men
times. You
some
made it
people
exactly that way.
I
You said it three
some
times.
people are you gonna let me finish or what?
I'm just
Okay,
asking you.
so
You
it's a
say you
saying
don't mean
that
it
us
like that, but
women
you said it
say
three
a piece
times.
of man. Some men tell us a piece of man is better than no man. I've heard this from older men my entire life, and so what they mean is you should accept whatever man that wants to accept you. Not that you should take your time and look through them and figure out what's best for you. You should just accept the first man that comes along. That's what I mean as a piece of man is better than no man, and
How,
I don't
how long
agree
has
with
it?
that.
How long has it been since you've been in a relationship, sister?
5 years.
So you telling me in 5 years you couldn't find one in 5 years?
I didn't look.
Oh, well, I'm a. Oh, how old are you, sister?
40. I just turned 40 in November.
All right, all right. I'm 48. Um, I went to my 30th class reunion this past summer, and the women that put education, career, and all those things first, you should have saw how they was running around in there trying to find somebody because they realized that family and future is a whole lot more important than career.
Oh,
I
those
know,
poor dears.
yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, it may seem funny to you now, but I guarantee you. in 10 years, when you sick at 2 o'clock in the morning and you laying there by yourself and your son going off and he married and got his own family and your daughter married and gone on got their family, it's not gonna seem like it's so funny to you anymore.
Well, in actuality, most men leave their wives when they're sick. I work with cancer patients. I see
Oh,
it all the time. So that argument
right,
doesn't work for me.
right, okay. I mean, no matter what, you're gonna find that one reason why you can't. So, I mean, some people just deserve to be by themselves. I agree, and you gonna make that a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, I'm good. Like again, I have no problem with whoever wants to date, whoever wants to be with whatever. That's just not for me right now. I don't see myself dating and being with a man. Um, I see myself focused on myself healing, myself growth, because I was with a man for 20 years. Through my 20s and my 30s. I've been there, done that. I want some freedom and some time to myself and time to grow and self reflect. I can't do that when I'm in a relationship with a man because most of the time men want more of your time than you have to give. So you have no time for yourself and self healing and self reflection. So I'm good.
I,
Okay.
I I think when you say that men want more of your time you have to give, I think men that don't have any motion, men that don't have anything going on, probably want more of your time than you have to give. But I think that's a false statement. I definitely do not have. Me personally, even right now in my life, I don't have a lot of time to give to women at all. So I think that would be reflective of the type of man that you're dealing with, or the type of men that you're dealing with.
Mm.
Or if y'all like each other.
Like lower nine said, like lower nine, and I'm sure you've had, like, let's be real. I'm sure you've. Can you please mute up? You got some background coming in when you're not talking, Scorpion Queen. I'm sure there's been times. Hey Cat, I'm sure there's been times where you probably could have, you probably thought like, damn, like, like, do you desire companionship at all? Like, I'm sure there's been times where you like, damn, having a man right now could have been like, I could have utilized a man right now for whatever it may be. Like, I mean, do you think not having a man in your is your children's father involved in your son's life at all? Because you were just talking about him calling you to come spend time and see the kids.
Yeah, but he was just living in Texas. So he's on the way back. And of course, he's trying to figure out how he can spend more time with the kids, I guess. And that doesn't always work out well because he wants more of me than I'm willing to give him. We're divorced now. There's no You can't
Yeah.
have that part of me anymore.
Go ahead, Miss Cutie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hey, oh,
I get it. I hear both sides of it. Um, but after a while, if you didn't gave yourself to your children, or if you've been married and if it's divorced or whatever happened with the marriage, it's gonna come a time where you gonna wanna think about life and what you want out of life as an individual, not as a wife, not as a mother, but as an individual. And then after, I know this is what I went through. And then I did desire companionship, but it came when I wasn't looking for it. So that can happen. You be not even looking for it. You just might meet a great person. Like, I never think that this type of person even walked the earth. But it can happen. I wouldn't close myself all the way out to the opportunity, because that's not a way to live. You gotta be hopeful for something.
what do you have to say to that, Scorpion Queen?
I won't turn it down if it works. But see, going out seeking it, I'm not doing that. And I'm like I said, I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't say how I feel in 10 years. But how I feel today, dating is not at the top of my roster. Looking for a man is not, and wanting a man just so I won't be alone at night, or wanting a man, so because when I'm sick I'll be alone. That's not a reason to want a man, or need a man or whatever. I don't see it right now. That could
You would
change, like I said, in about
know.
5 years.
You would know though, honestly, you would know, like, cause that guy gon' even if you say no, he a guy gonna go after what he wants. Period. So if he
No, no,
like you
no,
like
no.
that, he gonna put a fight up
No,
until
it don't work like that when you get to our age. When you get to our age, if you approach a woman and she don't want to be bothered with you, we're gonna say okay and turn around and walk away. Well, no grown man
no.
gonna waste his time walking up to a woman that don't want to be bothered.
Like I always say, the flowers don't chase the bees chase the flowers.
Right. But if the flower
So,
swat the bee away, the bee gonna find another flower.
but if the bee really want that nectar from that flower, he gonna do whatever he take to get
Yeah,
that nectar.
damn that poison ivy. I'll find me a rose.
He don't poison ivy don't got nectar. I'm just saying something
That's okay.
that can bear me more fruit, whatever you want to consider it.
Okay.
Scorpion Queen. Before I let Rebel speak, so do you put yourself in the midst of men at all, like when you're not at work, or when you do take yourself out, like where do you take yourself out? Like what do you do by yourself then?
No, I don't hardly put myself in fooling with men at all when I'm outside of work. When I'm by myself, I'll go to lunch or my favorite place, of course, is hair and nails, something like that, where I'm not encountering men that often.
Damn.
Is your ex? Is he has he moved on? Is he dating or married?
Yes, he is. He's been dating for at least 10 years, from my understanding.
I want to ask you another question, and I want you to answer it honestly again.
Sure.
Um, so you said, I mean, I'm basically getting a vibe from you that at least where you're located, that a lot of the men are just not like worth it.
No, I just
You
I'm
see
not
what your
willing to
friends go
sift
through.
through them.
Okay, but have you ever thought about why you're not even getting pursued by men that you would think are worth it?
What makes you think that?
So you're okay. So you. I mean, you haven't said that though. So you've been very loud and adamant in saying that that all these men are not worth it, but you're also ignoring the men that are worth it.
I don't know if they're worth it. I,
Okay,
She don't give
so
him a chance. She don't give him a chance.
no, I'm good. I don't want to take the chance.
So she just dealing with being hurt from her marriage. But with that being said, if he living his best life, I would want to live my best life too. He moved on with life. He's still gonna have more to add to his story. If you just stop your story, he's still adding on to his story. So why should you stop your story?
No, it's not. Let me tell you about men. Okay. Uh,
I was speaking from a woman for
I
talking
know.
to
I'm
men
I'm
for
telling you
me.
about men. We the only reason we may carry on a new story is because our old story won't let us keep writing it. If that man is still pursuing you, and I'm sure if he's still pursuing you, you're the one that filed for the divorce. He misses his family. He misses you. Those women that he dealing with, they just a substitute for you. We're not gonna sit around twiddling our thumbs. You know, that's selfish to think that we're gonna do that. But that man wants you. If he's still trying to pursue you and you're not giving him a chance, I mean, that's on you. But he's clearly trying. He may, I don't know what happened, but I'm sure he misses his family. Because after 10 years, he's still trying to spend time with you. That means he love you. He not playing a game.
I'm sorry, darling, but if you really love somebody, you wouldn't hurt them. You wouldn't be cheating on them. You wouldn't lie to them. You wouldn't do all these
So
things. You would actively
you,
try to be with your family.
you
But
talking
that's
about
what he
10 or
did,
15
and
years
he
ago, right?
left.
You talking about 10 or 15 years ago, right?
No, no, no. So let's see. He has a 5-year-old.
That's you've been divorced 10 years. I
No,
just
we've
told you
only
we ain't
been
gonna.
divorced for a year.
Oh, that shit happen. It does happen. It happens. It
Yes,
Now
happened with
it
you
me.
happened,
reaching.
and I've
She
decided
said
Wait,
that
wait,
he
I
had
wait.
a
don't
Let,
want to
let,
be with him
let,
5-year-old.
anymore.
let me tell you about me. It happened with me. It happened with me. And then I woke up and realized that I couldn't be selfish anymore. And I had to love my family the way I was supposed to. Luckily, I had a wife that stuck with me. and help me be stronger. And I don't even think like that anymore. Sometimes stuff happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. But clearly, if he's still pursuing you, he realizes what mistake he made. Because if he didn't give a damn, he wouldn't give a damn.
Rebel. Oh, go ahead, Miss Cutie. Go ahead.
I'm just listening because what Mr. Lower Ninth Ward said, it gave me the scene from Fences. Like my a lot of women is not staying in no marriage and somebody that has some outside kids. That's very rare. Like I wouldn't even do that. Like that's a lot. That's a pain. That's a hurt. That's a hurt. That's a pain that you always gonna have. So why stay in a marriage and you know that you always gonna have that against your husband? You not gonna love him the same at all. That love is gone. So why stay? So I get what she's saying.